Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, June 21st, and I am starting our guest room makeover. I will insert a picture of the mood board and the idea I have for this room. So if you couldn't tell, I have this jungle themed wallpaper behind me. And while it's not horrible, it's not really my vibe, and I'm going for a very simple, neutral themed guest room because the room's not very big. So I bought Benjamin Moore's Gray Owl paint, and the whole room is going to be this color just purely because it's such a small room. I'm just going to keep it simple. So I was originally going to paint a sample and start cutting in on the main wall when you, like the wall that the bed is facing. But the previous owners, they wrapped the outlet over here in the same wallpaper, and then when I tried to take it off, it got stuck and it peeled off some of the plaster, so I had to do a little bit more patching. I had previously patched 10 holes, but instead I'm gonna start with this little corner here because I want to see how the color looks, and we'll go from there. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are interested in this video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. Don't mind the air conditioner blaring in the background, but it is almost 100 degrees outside, so I figured it's warranted. It kind of just looks white on camera, but it's kind of got like a subtle gray tone. I am going to now test this color on the corner wall between the main door and the closet door, but just to see kind of how it dries, see if I like it. Hey guys, so it's the following day. I didn't really film me cutting in just because I wanted to see how the paint would look. As you can tell, I kind of started the cutting in, like down here. I had to shift this little end table here out of the way. I do plan on selling that because we don't need it anymore, but I am going to go ahead and film me trying to finish cutting in. I don't know how much this little ladder right next to me is going to let me reach just because I'm short. I'm only 5'2", so I can only reach so high without a tall ladder. Let me hyperlapse me finishing cutting in on the bottom at least so we can get an idea of what we're working with. So I accidentally painted partially onto the ceiling because it's kind of hard to see the line between the plaster wall and the ceiling. So hopefully it won't be noticeable once I roll the paint, but I guess that's what happens when you're not an experienced painter and you're just kind of getting the hang of everything. It's Sunday, June 23rd, and I am going to try a trick that I saw both through a DIY chat admin on Facebook as well as on Google. I am going to try the fabric softener mixed with water. So I did 1 cup of water mixed with a 1/4 cup, maybe even a little more, of fabric softener. And I'm going to try diluting the wall with the fabric softener for about 15 to 30 minutes. I'm going to do a small strip. Let me show you the strip I'm going to try it on. Because this has been used, our room, we have furniture in the way, so I'm going to start with a small patch in the corner here where it's not so heavily in the way with furniture, and I'm going to see what happens. So like I said, I'm going to let that sit for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to try using a putty knife to see if I can scrape some of that off. I just want to see if this is going to be an effective method moving forward for removing the rest of this wallpaper.
A few moments later.
So I waited about 30 minutes and then I had to resaturate it, and when I pulled it, it was a little bit difficult, but I finally got a little bit of it. So it looks like it might be peel and stick. So I'm gonna try and peel the rest of this off and see how it looks underneath. Oh no, the plaster's lifting! That completely damaged the plaster. I'm gonna have to do a lot of patching here. So I might have hit a snag. When I peeled off the wallpaper, it left a lot of damage underneath. Like the white paint underneath the wallpaper is literally peeling off, and there's like old wallpaper underneath. So I'm not really sure how to go about it. I do plan to peel the rest of this off, kind of see what I'm working with. This is the state of the wall now that I removed the peel and stick wallpaper, but I learned very quickly as I peeled off the first layer, or the first strip, that these walls were not prepped before the previous owners had installed the wallpaper. So as you could see, there is old wallpaper popping up underneath the paint. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I got a heat gun. I'm gonna have to basically cut at the seam where this wall, like here, meets this one, so that only the paint comes off on this wall. And I'm gonna have to use a heat gun to remove all of this old paint, exposing the old wallpaper, and I'm gonna have to prime it and repaint. So that is the plan for this wall. So pardon the mess on the floor. I did not do my due diligence in terms of prepping because we have so much stuff in the way. I am doing this with furniture surrounding the room, but I used this little Wagner heat gun, and it's been amazing for starting to remove some of this old chipping paint. I didn't obviously get very far, but I've been using that and a putty knife to kind of scrape the old paint off. I just have to score the corners, and then I can kind of continue moving forward. As you can see, there's a piece kind of hanging off the wall there. That's how effective this is. So the rest of me doing this is going to be me hyperlapsing the rest of this to get as much of this white paint off, and then we'll probably patch the holes on that wall where the old TV mount used to be, and then we'll sand the walls down, clean them up, vacuum them up so there's no dust, and then we'll prime them. So it is Wednesday, June 26th, and I have started trying to cut or like scrape some of this old paint off only this wall, because when I peeled the wallpaper, as you can tell from the previous clips, it left some damage underneath, so I have to do this, unfortunately. I bought a heat gun at Walmart, and I'm just going through and heating up the paint to kind of ignite it so I can scrape it with the putty knife. I am going to try and hyperlapse me trying to scrape off the rest of this paint. So it is Friday, June 28th, and I'm gonna show you the finished, as finished as I could get it, the scraped wall. So this is the wall. I'm gonna go in with drywall tape where that line up there meets the ceiling because that's another layer of tape. I just couldn't peel it off and I didn't want to take the risk. And then I'm going to put some tape on this seam here going all the way down because it's uneven and I couldn't get all the paint off there, and there is another piece of painted tape there, so I'm just gonna tape over it and just kind of patch it. And then there's a couple of pieces, like you could kind of see that piece and over there where behind the bed where it's drywalled. I can't get that off, and there's a big gaping hole of plaster behind there, so I'm just gonna use the tape again and I'm gonna seal up any holes and I'm gonna smooth it out. But first I gotta clean up all of that mess. I swept up a little bit. I'm gonna sweep up as much as I can, but I'm gonna have to shop back because that's not even touching the surface. I swept up most of it, as much as I could get before I vacuum, but there's all this back here and there's all of that over there, and it's really hard to sweep up. So yeah, I'm gonna try to clean up some of this debris and then I'm gonna go in and I am going to shop vac it.
Day 2.
Okay guys, so it is Sunday the 30th and I am going to make an attempt at starting to seal some of these plaster holes. Like when I painted off the paint, there were some pieces of plaster that came off with it, so I'm going to try and patch those and see what happens. It kind of looks like a little bit of a net when it's done. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but I put it one little piece in the corner there, here, because the plaster kind of came off, and here, and even in the 2 little holes, or the 4 little holes there. I still have to do the ceiling where that little line of tape meets the plaster falling off, and in the corner over there I need to patch, but I want to kind of test it out in these spots and see how the plaster sticks to this, so I'm going to try it out. It's not perfect. I've learned that for the indents like here, here, and here, I'm probably going to have to let it dry, sand it down, and then I'm going to have to re-putty over that until the indents are gone and that they're a little bit more seamless. So it's just going to be like a layering effect with this one. Otherwise, I think it's coming out looking better than I thought it would. And I've filled in a lot of little smaller areas. There was just a crack here, so I just kind of tried to, you know, get rid of the crack there. But I think off camera I'm gonna just tape up here and down the corner over there and kind of see how that turns out. So I decided to put the tape over where the seams for the old wallpaper were so that this wall looks seamless, which means I'm gonna, for the rest of the day, just finish taping off where I'm gonna need to putty, because I'm gonna need more putty, and then I'm gonna finally clean all this up so I'm not stepping on it anymore, or at least clean up the bulk of it because I'm gonna have to go in and vacuum anyway, and then I'll finish puttying probably tomorrow. it is done, at least for the first amount. I might have to go in like on the ceiling and do some touch up because there's some indentation where the tape is meeting the other existing tape. I'm gonna have to probably sand and repatch and putty over those little indents over there, but other than that, everything else is patched and ready for sanding and primer, so that's pretty exciting. I'm gonna try sanding this down and see what I'm left with once I smooth it out, and then I'm gonna patch or reputty. So it is the evening of July 17th and I'm going to finish sanding this wall. I kind of started by the window over here and in the corner and down here. I had reputtied multiple times up here to get rid of some of the texture. I realized very soon into it that I used the wrong tape. I should have gotten just not the mesh one. But I'm gonna sand this wall really quick and then I'm just gonna wipe down all of the dust and stuff real quick, and then I'll finish cleaning up tomorrow to prep the walls for primer. Hey guys, so it is Thursday, July 25th, and I did a lot of prep work on this wall that I didn't show just because it's just prep work, but I took the shop vac and I vacuumed up all of the dust, or at least most of it, on the floor. I vacuumed up most of the dust on that floor. There's still some residual dust right there, but I also vacuumed the walls a couple of times, and I also used, at one point, a sponge with wet water on it, and I wiped down the walls once, but I realized that there was still dust on the wall. So after I vacuumed up the dust on the ground, I took a spray bottle with warm water and a little bit of soap, and I sprayed down the walls and wiped them again. So the next step is to let these walls dry, or this wall dry, and then the next step will be primer. So the next clip you're gonna see is when this wall is dry and I am priming this wall finally. guys, so it's Sunday, August 4th, and I am finally getting around to rolling. Yesterday, I went around the entire room and I cut in, and this is the wall behind me that had the wallpaper on it, so it really has changed a lot over time. Don't think it's perfect by any means, but it looks a lot better than it did, so I'm gonna move around the room and start rolling. Hey guys, so it's been a little while. It is Wednesday, August 21st, and I just finished recutting in on the walls, so all the gray is done. And today Chris swapped out all of the yellow outlets for pure white ones, so that's really nice. It doesn't look as like dingy and old in here anymore. He had to rewire the new outlets and put covers on it. But the next step is going to be taking white paint and painting the heater covers, because now that we have the new outlets and covers and the walls are painted, heaters look really old and dingy, and there's even like paint chipping off of it. It's Sunday, August 25th, and I have a huge update. So not only are all the walls done, which I think you guys saw last time, but I didn't get to really show it because just the angle of this room made it hard. But the heaters are fully painted. It looks so different. And on top of that, I also I touched up the cut-ins on the ceiling and towards the trim and everything. And Chris installed or mounted the TV on the wall because I have people staying or coming this weekend or next weekend. I am hopefully going to remove these old blinds because they're just so rickety and old, and replace them with customized shades. Remove that bar up there and hang curtains. We have 2 windows to do that too, so yeah, that is the agenda for today. update. Chris wound up putting up the curtains and the shades on the other window, which now the room kind of looks like this. You guys saw him working on that a little. I stripped the bed. We're gonna have new sheets, new comforter. All that's really left is like next steps, because I just put the dresser back, which thank goodness, because now I can actually walk in here. I have to hang a couple of, or I'll have Chris do it because he's better at it than I am. I'm gonna have him hang some wall art up here to kind of finish up that wall. Not sure by the time that I have company if we're gonna be able to get the floating shelves put on the wall too, but that's kind of the goal, is to have these tiny little shelves that we've had lying around and kind of put them on the wall just to, you know, give them some purpose. And then we're gonna put the end table back in here.
Day 4.
So update, it is Thursday, August 29th, and we are going to start prepping the wood shelves for stain, but first I'm going to use wood conditioner. I have 2 shelves here, and the next clip you're going to see is me prepping and staining these wood shelves to hang them. So let's get started. We're in the final touches stage now. So according to the can, the next thing is to wait between 5 and 15 minutes before wiping off. And then we're supposed to let it sit for up to 2 hours before you put the stain on. So I'm going to wipe it off in about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna let it sit for about 2 hours, and then we'll come back out and stain it.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, so it is Wednesday, September 4th, and I am finally getting around to staining these display shelves that are going to go in the guest room. We are pretty much at the final project before we do finishing touches and we reveal the guest room to you guys. So thank you for tuning in for this entire video, and stay tuned for more videos, because a lot of other rooms in the house have been done and there is footage being condensed into videos. It's just taking me a while because there's a lot of little finishing touches for those rooms that we have to do. So please continue to check in, please continue to subscribe, and let's finish these shelves by staining and sealing them. Hey guys, so it is Friday, September 13th, and we are finally finishing up this guest room. It's been 3 months in the making with breaks in between. So I think the last clip I did of this video, I was applying stain to the open shelves, which they're done. But I didn't record me putting the polyurethane seal on that, but I did do that off camera. Now it's just finishing touches. I got some faux succulent potted plants just from Walmart and a candle, and I'm gonna make the bed and just make the room look really welcoming and nice. And we will do a before and after. So before I show you the before, let me show you how I plan to finish off the room with some finishing touches and some decor. Okay guys, before I reveal the final look for this guest room, let's take a look at the before. And now, here's the completely done guest room in my house. Well, if you guys like this video, I hope you guys will subscribe for more content. Like, comment, and subscribe below. And give me more ideas for videos I can make. There are some other DIY videos in the works. Some of them have actually already been started before this room was. This is just the first one that's been finished. So if you're interested in more of that, comment down below. And I will see you guys next time for the next video. Bye!